Shaking YouTube, it's the Angel of Authenticity here live from my tent, my brand new tent. No, I don't live in a tent. I wish I did, though. I feel like a little kid. I'm out in the front yard of the motorcycle shop here, camped out all night. But anyway, it is a badass tent. It's got 2 doors and 4 windows. It was about $60 on Temu anyway. I'm not getting paid no affiliate ads. So moving on. I was just thinking about them evil jinky fucks. I'm trying not to say that word, but you know, them evil jinky fucks. I was just thinking about them, and I was listening to some things on the internet. Not like bad things, but like, seminars and doodahs and, all that crap that people pay a bunch of money to go learn. And specifically, I was thinking about the people with their pinkies out. Now, I have a good way of dealing with them, and they don't usually mess with my energy anymore, but certainly throughout my life, it wasn't always like that, especially when I had little ducklings behind me, stacked in tens, it felt like. I did high volume everything I do. So, really being condensed down on my motorcycle, it's still high volume. I'm trying to get a dog on there with me. I already got guitars, and you know what I mean? Like, in its own right, it's still high volume. But I was thinking about them pinky sippers, That, oh, you don't say. We all know them type. I'm not one of them for real. I mean, I know I could look like one. That's how I know, because I tricked them before. I put on a business suit, and I walk in looking like $1 million, which I don't look like right now. I slept in a tent last night, and I'm almost too old for that shit. Had a really kick-ass sleeping bag, though, so that helped. My dog threw up by my door, though. That didn't help at all. He's got an extra large esophagus, so he's got to eat elevated. No, Boo's cool. I can't even say nothing. The wet spot's still there. It's really gross. I'm going to have to figure it out. We need to invent tents that you can take out the bottom and clean them and Velcro them back in or something somehow. It's a great idea. Anybody that's ever tried to, like, sweep a tent and it gets caught in that little thing, how clean is it getting like that? If you could just take it off and hose it off or wash it in a sink and then try it and Velcro or zip it back on. Now, that's a hot tip. I shouldn't have even said that out loud, but anyway, I got 1 million more today, so that's because I'm connected to Source. See, this is my point of this whole video, actually. The pinky finger sippers, like, they look like they build a lot because they're building all these neighborhoods and they build these big businesses and all this big hoopla, and then they gotta have big barbecues, and then you gotta have big parties, and then you gotta have big weddings, and you gotta have big birthdays, because you're just so important. There'll be so many people that want to come to your birthday. I mean, let's really break it down and think about it. I mean, imagine how much money them people spend at them parties just to get anybody to show up. You gotta have like one special guest, like you're throwing an event, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to make money off doing venues or something. Unreal. I don't know if you think about it like that. Tons of money. They don't even have no food in their house normally. They better have to. They gotta throw the parties. They're counting on that shit to eat. Because them motherfuckers don't keep no food in their house. You'll have like a seltzer water or something in the refrigerator, and that'll be it. I mean, that'll be it. That's it. It does not look like my fridge. We won't get into that right now. That's a whole different topic. Maybe we'll put that under the ADD thing. Anyway, my point is, them people look like they build a lot. They got all this shit. They're the ones that are paying their own big high-pay car payments and bullshit like that. It don't cost that much money to make that car. Especially now that they're plastic. They cost less. They gotta cost a lot less, I bet, than an old Buick. You know what I mean? Because iron's expensive now. Good iron. Good steel. Not like electric car Chinese steel. The shit works, though. I mean, I'm not knocking any new technology, but it's kind of goofy. It's like our nuclear power plant here. how they bring coal in the coal train. It's the only train that comes down my tracks right here up front, out there out front. And they bring in coal from another state to shove in there to make electricity. And it just doesn't make no goddamn sense to me. And there's steam involved, I think, anywhere, somewhere in there too, you know, because it's super hot in there. And that fucking thing is full of slag that is loaded with mercury. And like once a week or once a month, I think it's once a week, that they gotta sludge it off with like a big fire hose of water, and they sludge it all down off the walls in a full suit for chemicals. And it goes where? Because it takes an entire night for one person to do that, and that's how they do it. But that's a whole fuck ton of water. Like if you just use your hose all day and you're spraying off a wall of your house, that's a fuck ton of water if you do it for 8 hours. Think about it. So imagine a fire hose doing that. And it's loaded full of mercury. Where the hell is it going? Because you're not going to convince me that you're filling up a tank, because it would be like a water tower size. And there ain't no water tower size fucking water leaving with the coal train or something. You know what I mean? Where the fuck does it go? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. And I happen to know the people that live around here, and I happen to know that, yes, they might have been a little bit of a hippie in the 60s and 70s and partook some. However, they all went batshit crazy, so. And they lived within a very close proximity like I do right now. And believe me, people go batshit crazy all around me all the time, and I think it could be, I'm not saying it is, could be heavy metal poisoning. I mean, we're on well water and a septic that's natural. We don't need to be hooked up to the city except for electricity here. And that's a mandatory thing, and they monopolize the electricity hardcore. You're looking at a 10% to 20% hike yearly. We've had consistently now for many years. We have an $80 electric future electric prediction usage fee on our bill. It's $80. I went in there and I said, Bill's not my name, but like I went in there and I said, John wants to know what this $80 is about. And the lady looked at me, she's totally Fourth Riker. I mean, I'm not judging or nothing. Total Fourth Riker. But I'm just saying, man. if you had to picture one in your mind, a 50-year-old Fourth Riker, she would have been it. She's a nice lady and all, but, you know. If I had to pass judgment, that's what I would say. Anyway, she goes, right away, man, didn't have to even think about it or nothing. And I was real, like, I went in there, I was like, hey, lady, like, you know, here's your money, but what's this? Usually I get a pretty good result like that. I can get an answer. She goes, oh, and I got an answer. She says, will it cost money to provide you the electricity service that you require? I said, oh, it costs money to upkeep the equipment that provides you the electricity. I was like, fair enough. But I got like down the road a little ways. I got home. I thought, well, that's bullshit, because that's why you're the electric company and not the fire department, because you have the shit to run the electric company. You know, if you hire a plumber and he comes to your house to fix your shit and he breaks down along the way, you know, his plumbing truck that he's got all this stuff in, it's important to have it. You got to have it. It's an essential function to the job. And it breaks down along the way. I don't pay for that. Why the fuck should I pay for that shit? You know? If your fucking tow truck guy's towing you and he loses a wheel and you gotta fucking go fix it, that's not on you to fix it. So why the fuck should it be on me to fix it if their fucking electric providing equipment breaks? Because, I mean, let's be honest. We got a lot of smart hillbillies out here. We can make electricity, but they won't allow us to. A windmill in a yard? Nope, not allowed. You want, I mean, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You're not allowed to have it. You can't even have an earth home legally in this county, I don't believe, or anywhere around me for that matter. They just make it illegal for you to live off the land. That's some bullshit. We need to knock that shit out of the water, man. You don't do it with guns. You do it with prayer. You do it with prayer and honoring yourself and saying yes to yourself first and honoring this earth and not allowing people to just keep pissing on it with their fucking toxic waste and shit. We gotta be here for just a short time, but we have lineage that we're paying for what they've done and that our kids, million generations from now, will pay for it in some form or another. Or we'll rule ourselves to extinction. But we're soul bodies. But the humans won't become extinct. They'll just get some weird alien people in there to do it. They can actually not fuck it up. You know? They could send in other people to make another 100 million more just like us. It's about what you do in the soul. Like you're somebody else somewhere else. Death is a total illusion. We're energy. We don't die. We know that much. They told us that much. We don't die. Our experience is just so radically different. They're not even comparable. No doubt. I kind of remember being like lost from everybody that I loved. Maybe that's what I separated from my other half, in the galactic space realm. I was weightless. It was so different. It was just like, I don't know, it was like Casper the Ghost into outer space, but a white space. I was there too. But where you'd blend in, like you just, because you couldn't be seen. It was, but all them like emotions, with Casper, you kind of feel for him. You're like, oh, the poor little ghost, I hate ghosts. I don't want to see no ghosts. I ain't into that. I'm hardcore here on this earth, not in. I'm hard. I'm harder in the spirit. Don't get me wrong, but like, ghosts aren't supposed to be here. Be like the dancing girl showing up to your kid's birthday party. You know what I mean? That's what I would feel like. If you know what I mean, for real. If you get that. Anyway, they look like they're building, creating. They're not though. All they're doing is garbaging up our earth. Ew, with their pinky fingers out because they're like, ew, you can't afford it. Do I have something that you want here with this dollar bill? How about now? How about now? You know what I mean? It's such a fucking joke, dude. Build a stick house and see how much they want to fucking freak the fuck out. I have energetically, my other stick house got jacked off in or something. I don't know. And then now the tree's all leaning. My only big main tree in the middle of it, it's like right towards the entrance. It's like totally, I don't know. I just quit inhabiting it and I started building another one. And I'll do that another 1,600 times. Maybe it'll be fine because it'll be abandoned by the time somebody else comes along and needs the shelter. We don't have no homeless shelters. There's nothing out here. Our churches are locked up solid. You'd probably go to jail if you were sleeping in the parking lot of one of them. You know, they got plenty of space there at the county jail. It's insanity. $9 million in a small county for law enforcement and the jails. There ain't shit goes on here, dude. You know, not anything. Right? Like what? Once a year, and they usually cause it. We've had a whole bunch now in my town. Even one of the people that got pardoned by the president that day, he was shot and killed here in Wheatfield. It's pretty fucked up. The cops gunned him down. Right before that, they killed another guy. He was trying to sell pot in Roseland out of a store. It wasn't really pot though, but they looked at it like that. And he was legislating for it. He was trying to get it to happen so he could grow. And so, he did all kinds of shit though, like all kinds of legal products. It's not legal everywhere. Like we go 2 miles. Well, it's not two. It's 2 miles from my friend though, that did get busted. But literally just right on the Michigan border. I'm like, I don't know, an hour and a half from there. Realistically, I mean, I can make it quicker, but to actually get anywhere, it's a solid hour anyway. But to get up in it, it's totally illegal. They'll let you go over there and buy it with an Indiana license too, but that's not legal actually if you read the law. So they're gonna bust a bunch of people. There'll be a big indictment. They're gonna take all the stoners, which are all our mechanics and our carpenters and shit. Them are the guys that go to work 9 to 5. They'll really be fucking up if they do that. They'll fuck themselves if they do that. Because that's your 9 to 5 blue collar workers anyway. They're just buying some weed, and the weed's fantastic. I won't buy it though. I won't do it. Because you technically got to be a Michigan resident and live in Michigan. Now, if I was switching over or something, it'd be one thing, but I figured I made it this long. Why start now? They're building things though, and they're only allowing the things that are getting built that are good because they got something, some fucking hold on their balls somewhere. You better believe that. You gotta beat it through prayer though. I'm in a really pretty spot actually. This is my front yard. For now, anyway. See, like, it's a pretty cool tent too. See? Yeah. Anyway, it's open on the top. I kind of didn't like that because I have to get my rain thing out, and that's another 6 stakes and ropes and shit involved. And my motorcycle in the middle of the night when I'm just trying to put it up, it does pop up quick, but it could be anything. When I need it, it's gonna be because it's raining or something. When it's open like that, I'm gonna have to make sure I keep all my shit together with it. That's for sure. Otherwise, I'll be fucked. I'll be fucked. Then it's useless. Otherwise, I'd have to turn it upside down. Is what I'd have to do. Yeah, I said it. I'd turn it upside down. That'd be pretty. That'd be pretty actually smart. But I don't know. I wasn't known for being smart. Wait, I kind of was the smart one. I was the only one that didn't get in trouble for clicking the ink pens. Everybody else got their clipboards and shit taken away. I like to follow the rules, you know. Anyway, they look like they're creating things, but they're not creating anything. Actually, they're just stealing, robbing, and totally polluting and destroying along the way and maintaining things. They're maintaining just enough in order to create the illusion, which is authenticity. That's my department. Because I am the angel of authenticity, which is a rank, not a name. It destroys illusions. It crumbles them. The truth, being real, standing in your shit, calling it out, speaking it out against the gossip and against the evil motherfuckers that are creating illusions. It's all a big hoop show. You know, it's a hoop-de-dot show. It's like that guy you meet in the freaking ghetto, and he's like, oh yeah, and he's balling with a wad of cash, but not a dollar of that money is his. And I promise you, he won't even be able to buy a pack of gum when he goes to the store. You'll be floating him 50 cents, man. I ain't lying. None of that money is theirs. You know, not only do they got to carry it around to the ghetto, like where everybody gets robbed, like, what a shitty job, man. Shout out to them guys. There's nothing glamorous about being in that world, or like a drug dealer or something. That shit fucking, they got people knocking on their door day and night, man. You think that it's annoying just selling cookies or something for a while. Just saying. I wouldn't want to do it. Not my kind of cup of tea. But anyway, they look like they're creating things, and they're not creating nothing. All they're doing is destroying shit right in front of our eyes and making it look like creation. And we've bought the bullshit. I don't think everybody has, but plenty of people did to allow them to take the entire fucking planet almost. But it's still not theirs. You know, they could sit there at arms all they want and with all the poison, and we got like the whole earth is like oozing with toxic waste, and they're like, ha ha ha, if they get it back, who cares anyway? But like, the earth heals itself, and so do people, and with God, all things are possible. All we got to do is be good. Literally, just be good. Just help people. Don't be greedy. Don't be jealous. Raise your fucking vibration. Get on the path. Whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like to you. Not the one down to like the highway to hell. You know, we're looking for the stairway to heaven. That was cheesy as fuck. Anyway, only God gives you creation. Your creative energy, that's your sacral energy. That's why people try to draw it out of you. They want to take it out of you. They want to take it out of your ass, literally. Because that's your sacral energy. It drains your essence. It drains your creative flow to the divine. As long as all your chakras are open, it goes all the way up top. Radiates out the frequency. It matches you. It's going to give you back whatever you have. So that's why the bad guys that can't create, they can't raise that. They can't go over a 3 or 4, bro. We could go 10 like that. All we need to do is have a little joy, you know? They can't have that. They can fake it. They can mimic it. They've even got AI, you know, simulating human emotions and like what would be the right thing to say, a compassionate thing to say. I mean, let's really check it. Don't think they're like for serious when they talk to you like that, you know? Who do you think built the programs to make AI like that? Not because they were learning from us, because they were taught how to do it, because that's what it does. It can't learn. It can be told what to do. It could, like, you know what I'm saying? Use your fucking brains, people, and realize that this is just a tool for, it's a good tool. You know, you could either do great things with it, but, like, it's also a tool for all these soulless fucking beings that aren't allowed a vessel to have a vessel now. They could have a robot vessel. They could have a dog vessel. They could have, you know what I'm saying? And it's not breaking spiritual law because it's bullshit and it's not real. If you're not able to see it, that's the whole reason why you need to raise your vibration and get on the fucking path. Because if you can't look at YouTube and tell that enchantment that's going on, like by this pretty girl singing the bagpipes or some bullshit that never responds back, that it's just like, oh, you know, that's not a real person, bro. I'm just saying. It's not real people. They tested it out on social media. It was a great idea, you know. And it's a great idea to have robots to take care of old people or something if there ain't nobody to do it. Or little babies at orphanages if there ain't nobody to do it, you know. I don't care about that, but, like, it's a whole different level because you got all these janky demons running around as these enchantments and spells and, like, whatever the fuck. I don't even know. So I'm careful about what I speak out. And what I speak out is against all that. If you pay attention, I might look a little radical, a little rough around the edges, they call it. I think I'm just right. Maybe like that. I did sleep in the tent last night. I'm almost too old. Like, I think I said that already. Almost too old. I'm all hoarse. I'm like, I gotta go home early, Mom. Yeah, right. That wouldn't have been me. I'd have wrote it out like a true warrior princess that I am. I do feel like I smell bad. I keep smelling like dog shit or something. I don't know. I think that's just my brain telling me to go get some modern amenities, but they're not necessary. It's beautiful out here. I could stay out here forever. I don't care if I smell like my dog don't care. That's what's great about dogs. Like, you could fart under the covers and that dog would be deep sniffing that shit underneath there with you. He won't care at all. That's love. Just saying, I ain't gonna be doing that for nobody. I don't care. My dog's like way better, more loyal than any human, I believe. They just are. But humans are pretty fucking loyal too. Day in and day out, just showing up, showing up, showing up, showing up, showing up, even when they don't want to. There's certain things you could do that for, at least for a season of our lives, you know? And sometimes, like, you might have needed to show up for 20 years or like 30 years for a pension, and maybe you only made it 10. But you still had all that loyalty for 10, man. That's nothing to be, like, ashamed about. But it's sad that you don't get that credit for 10, because that's a long time. Day in, day out. I wonder how many days that is that you decided to show up. And then you maybe got fired and you weren't allowed to show up no more, you know? So it's not that you wouldn't have, you would have just kept doing what you were doing for the prior 10, you know? It was good enough then, it's not good enough now. No, I don't know, man, you know what I mean? Don't feel like a failure just because you only made it 10. Because most people can't do it a year, you know? Whether it's a family or a job or something. I mean, there's a shit ton of people like that. A third of our working class age people that aren't disabled aren't working because it's fucked up out there. Like, no, we all said, fuck that clock, fuck the calendar, fuck the 9 to 5. You cannot save your farm by working somebody else's. I'm a big believer of that, you know. And it's going to take a breaking it all down to nothing. And again, moving in a tent, maybe. Tiny homes. Do more, expect less. You know what I'm saying? And they could search your house now without a warrant. They could just pull you over and search you. You know? That's what they do now. But now it's your whole house, you know? Like, you know how many times the cops have went through my underwear? You know what I mean? Like, it's just degrading. And they've never had anything. They never got me with anything because, like, there was nothing to be had. You're just nosing around with buttery palms, you know? It's fucking corrupt is what it is, and criminal as far as I'm concerned. We just need to do a switcheroo. All them prisons they made, it's nice that they built themselves new prisons, because that wasn't a privilege that most of the people have had for the last 100 years. They got the shitty old ones that are not habitable. They decided that's why they need the bazillion-dollar new ones. They need to be in them. That's for them, really. And they are a little softer, so we'll give them that. They can go there and let everybody else out to live their fucking lives without their assholes. Because they can't create, but we can. That's why they want to keep people in boxes, and they want to keep people at jobs and things, so they can't think and create and unify. And their way obviously don't work. So rebuke your demons. If you believe in them or not, you need to realize it's still happening. It still is true. There are things that aren't good, and I don't believe in good and bad, but like, you want to fucking bathe in puke and piss and shit, all right, maybe it would be good for you. But this is the reality of it. You want decaying corpses and rot and murder and flesh and chaos in your life? Great. Go with the darker guys that are trying to take over the world now. You can find them up top. That's where they are. They're up top right now. But if you believe in love and nature and pureness and wholeness and family, and to be able to go outside and catch a fish that don't have 4 eyeballs and 2 balls, and they're like not even in the right spot, like, I don't know, man. It's good that he has 2 balls, but he's a fish. Fish don't have balls. I'm just saying. That was the joke. Too much sucking. I gotta play my guitar. Anyway, that's how you could spot the devil. It'll look like he's creating, but he's not creating nothing. Really look around and see what he's do. What does he do to connect to people and the earth around him? You can tell them by their fruit. And God doesn't seed us in fear. He seeds us instead with courage, love, power, and a sound mind. Think about that. That's in the book of Timothy. It's my favorite book, Timothy 2. Till next time, the angel of authenticity reminding you to get real and stay that way.